if you were forced to stop giving your service today, what does your business own that makes your business more valuable than just the service results that you create? I'm gonna stop and let you think about that for a second. Okay, second over. So, just like if you were a hairstylist who would eventually have to come from behind the chair, or a mechanic that would eventually have to come from under the car, and you may have to eventually stop doing the service that you provide. What else is valuable about your business? Okay. Today, we're going to answer the question, what assets make my business valuable? And the answer, leverageable. And I might have an Alabama problem with that word later on. Just, it's leverageable. I'm saying it right now. Assets. Okay. And it comes from this week's blog, What Makes a Business More Bankable Today? And it's located, in case you want to follow along, at shaycannon.com/bank. That's shaycannon.com/bank. I tried to make that easy for you because I know if I had done bankability, y'all would have jacked it up and never got to the blog. But that's okay. shaycannon.com/bank. Okay. Now, this week, what we've been talking about is that the whole month we've been talking about different pieces of my business growth ability formula. TM, because it's going to be trademarked. Okay. There are 4 parts to my formula and they build on each other. There's credibility, visibility, bankability, and profitability. And that third one, bankability, is what we're talking about this week. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going beyond some of the things that brings bank to your business. I'm going beyond talking about your offer. I'm going beyond talking about marketing, and I'm going beyond talking about sales in the ways that you commonly hear it for business development. Okay. What we've been talking about this week is some good stuff. All right. Now, one of the things that can bring bank to your business is operational capacity. Y'all know I'm a chief operating officer, so operations is always going to be in there somewhere. Your capacity to service more people is directly related to how bankable your business is. So if you want to know how to handle more clients and open up your capacity, you need to go back to part 1, which was on Monday. I even gave you 10 strategies on how to calculate your capacity. All right. So go back to part 1. Part 2 was yesterday. And what we talked about was future revenue positioning. And what that did was answer the question of how you can create ongoing revenue. Okay. So if you want to know more about positioning your business for future revenue and even get 10 strategies for creating future revenue positioning, go back to yesterday's replay. That was part 2. Today, we are going to answer the question, what assets make my business valuable? That answer, leverageable assets. And those are the tangible elements of a business that make it look established, stable, and built for the long haul. These are the things you own or control and prove your business isn't just another pop-up venture chasing quick wins. And it can go beyond just the service that you provide today. They as in leverageable assets create confidence because they show staying power. You're not just delivering services, you're building something of lasting value. When a business understands and highlights its leverageable, see, I'm already starting to have problems, assets, it can position itself as a serious contender for bigger opportunities, attract strategic partnerships, and secure trust from any stakeholders. Okay, that could be when you're getting business loans. That could be if you ever wanted to add in some partners, whatever. It's showing that you have more staying power and more value other than if your service was to stop today. Okay, so whoever wants to know that they're betting on something built to last, if you have these assets in place, then they can bet on you. All right. Now, that was the blog. All right. But we're going to go on because in the morning show, I give you more. Today's show notes is one of those ones that you're going to need to have, and it's going to be evergreen for you. When you start thinking about how can I make my business more valuable, how can I make more money, how can I, if I want to stop doing this service today, continue to make money? This are the show notes that you're going to want to go back to. And these show notes are probably going to be valuable for more than a few years. So let's go through these strategies that I'm already hyping up for you. This list is the top 10 strategies for creating and leveraging assets to increase bankability. All right. Now, I have a caveat for you. I need you to seek the counsel of an intellectual properties attorney to make sure you got all your legal protections in place for some of these strategies that I'm going to give you. All right. Cool. Now, number one, you need to develop a signature framework or methodology. Now, you need one that is like your main one, but you can have more than one. I'm going to tell you about some of mine after I give you this definition, okay? But you need to document your unique process for delivering results and brand it as your own intellectual property. A named framework can be licensed, turned into courses, or used as a selling point to differentiate you from your competitors. Now, like I said, this month, what did I say we've been talking about? Business Growth Ability Formula, TM. That's one of my formulas. That's one of my frameworks, right? So I tell you generally that it has 4 parts, but you don't know the details of what my entire formula is. But I can then sell or license that formula for other people to use to get results in their business. Okay. I have another formula called the 4 M's of operations. Okay. And I can tell you what the 4 M's are. But again, telling you is not giving you my entire framework. I have another framework, the 6 phases to 6 figures. Are y'all following me? I have frameworks for almost everything that can be trademarked. Okay. The contents of it can be copyrighted, and the entire framework can then be licensed out because I own it. All right. Okay. Keep that in mind. All right. Number 2, build a proprietary resource library so you can curate a branded hub of guides, templates, tools that only your audience can access, right? This creates perceived value, helps with client retention, and can be monetized as a membership or upsell. It also, as a complete proprietary resource library, can be sold or licensed. Okay? So keep that in mind. Number 3, scalable licensing right for content and programs. Okay, so prepackaged programs like workshops with templates and done for you materials. Okay, designed for other service providers to license under their own brand. Have you ever heard of private labeling? Okay, PLR, private label rights, adding a recurring income stream attractive to buyers. Okay, so scalable licensing rights, that's of your content and of your program. So when we're talking about content, we're talking about the things that you are the complete text, the curriculum of the words that are in the videos, the content of it is what you're selling. All right. Number 4, secure and protect brand assets. All right. So you should own your own domains. Me and Shawana Kennedy Media had a conversation recently about somebody not owning their domain and therefore leaving themselves open for somebody to all that work they're doing to point people to this name. They didn't buy the domain that goes with that name. So now somebody else can buy that domain and take all of the fruit away from all that marketing they're doing, because guess what? They're naturally going to look for online that name. That's why I tell y'all, stop doing these .nets and all this .co, because that's not what people are going to put in first. Figure out a way to do your .com. Okay. So domains, trademarks, branded materials to signal your permanence in a space and protect your business identity. All right. Another thing that a lot of people like to do is go online. As soon as they think of something that they think is going to be big, they go ahead and go online and they secure the social media accounts to that stuff. So that could be a part of you protecting your brand assets. Number 5, create evergreen digital products. Okay, turn your expertise, that expert knowledge that you have to use to give the service, turn that into digital products, okay? Like on-demand workshops, ebooks, mini courses, whatever. And what we're going to do is sell without having to do constant fulfillment. All right? Creating a revenue stream separate from your service and your time. Cool. Number 6, create a branded industry report or insights guide. Now, I know y'all like, what is that? What are you talking about? Let me describe it. And then I'm going to give you some examples and you're going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I know that. So the definition, use your audience and project data to create a branded report with valuable insights for your niche. Sharing original research or trends elevates you as an authority and gives collaborators and potential clients a reason to engage. Now, that's the definition, but I know you still like, I don't know where you're coming from with that. Let me give you some examples. I want you to think about like Michelin star restaurants. Okay. What that is somebody compiled an industry report based on insights of the best restaurants. Okay. But guess who it is? Michelin Tire Company. Okay. The Michelin people are the tire company. And long ago, they created this guide of great restaurants because they were trying to get their customers to travel more and put more mileage on them tires so they can buy them more often. That's where it came from. So do you see how Michelin had nothing to do with restaurants, but they created a guide. They created an insight report that is now famous, right? Separate from the service that they provide. You can do the same thing. Let me give you another one. You've heard of Consumer Choice Award, right? A lot of retail spaces have it up in their stores. Well, that came from Retail World magazine. You probably haven't even heard of the magazine, but you've heard of the reward. And when you see it probably close to the register, right? You recognize the award that they are a consumer choice. When they have ads or TV ads or even magazine ads, they like to use that seal. Okay. Another one, Wall Street Journal bestseller, right? Wall Street Journal bestseller. New York Times bestseller, right? What is the other one? It's another one that's a highly published. I can't think of it, but this is enough. New York Times bestseller. New York Times is a publication that is about news, but they curate the top selling books and their list became famous. When we think bestseller, first one we think is New York Times bestseller. The second we think is Amazon bestseller, right? But it's all about the insights. So you can create some kind of report based on insights that can bring value beyond your service. All right, cool beans. Let's move on. Number 7, proprietary client database with insights. Let me tell you what that is. An organized, detailed database of past and current clients. It could be of segmented leads. Basically, what you want is you want a lead source that somebody else could use, right? So we have people that we know that have 60,000 people on their email list, but we know that our audience is within their audience, so we would pay for an email blast, right? Or guess what? That's how your email address gets you marketed to by people that you don't know nothing about because your name was sold from an email list. So those things, that data, because data is money, right? They can sell that data. So if you're compiling your data and it's segmented good enough, you can sell that as an asset. All right. Number 8, exclusive vendor and supplier contracts. Okay. Contracts, not a list. You can sell those too, but they're not as valuable as a contract that might have terms that are highly advantageous and probably outdated for what people trying to get a new contract would get. Okay, this is why when you have a contract, you need to have a clause in there that says it's non-transferable. Again, check your contract attorney, but that's why things like that are important, right? So you don't want nobody else to be able to keep selling your contract and keep reaping the benefit of the lower price from when they first started or the price from the volume that you used to get or whatever. Okay, but those things are important. Number 9, documented SOP and process library, a comprehensive operations manual covering service delivery, client management, and admin workflows for other practitioners in your space, right? I talk to Dr. Tachi and Shawana Kennedy and me all the time about different SOPs that I have created that I know they probably can benefit from because they have the same type of task in their business. So I say, hey, I created this, you probably can use it. But what I can do is gather all of that and sell it, right? Cool beans. Number 10, proprietary analytics, dashboards, or tools. Dashboards or tools. So, custom built dashboards or tools that track client process or client return on investment or industry specific data. These can be white labeled. You can sell this as a white labeled product. You can allow people to license it, okay? Or you can bundle it with other stuff to make that other stuff more valuable because it's adding a unique monetizable feature, okay? So, those were the 10 leverageable assets that you need to add to your service-based business so that eventually you're getting money and value for something other than the service. So if you say you get sick, okay, you know something, most of y'all, you are the business. There's nobody else in the business. Even if you have a small team, there's probably still nobody else in the business actually servicing the client but you. So if you get sick, if there is a pandemic or something happens, how else are you going to make money in this business? These are 10 ways. Okay, that's how valuable this list is. Now, the question of the day, let me go grab it. All right, I got it. We're going to start with Dr. LaFera. Let me throw it over here in the YouTube. Hey, Shantali, good morning. You picked a great day to join us, Shantali, because there's some good stuff, boo. All right, question of the day is, which strategy is uncommon in your industry, possibly making you an early adopter so that you stand out? Okay, we're talking about the list that I shared, the 10 things. Which one is uncommon in your industry so that when you do it, you are an industry leader? Okay, that's one question. The other question is, which of the strategies will be easiest to implement to you and bring a higher level of positive impact to you and your business? Okay, so I put it in the studio chat. I put it in the YouTube chat. We're going to start with Dr. LaFera, but I'm going to give you the recap on the 10 strategies first because both questions are directly related to the list. All right, let's go back through. These are the top 10 strategies for creating and leveraging assets to increase bankability. Again, the caveat is seek the counsel of an intellectual properties attorney for true legal protection. Number 1, develop a signature framework or methodology. In fact, I need you to create more than one. Okay, you do things a certain way for more than just one thing. So let's create a framework and a methodology for it. Let's trademark that thing. Let's copyright that stuff, and let's go ahead and we are now able to sell it, lease it, all that good stuff. Number 2, build a proprietary resource library. Okay, that's your guides, your templates, your tools, whatever that you have that people could use, and it will be valuable to them because it saves them time or it saves them money. Number 3, scalable licensing rights for content and programs. Okay, there are other people that can use your programs for their clients. How can you license that stuff to them? Number 4, secure and protect brand assets. We're talking your domains, your trademarks, your copyrights, your licensing agreements, all the good stuff. Okay. Number 5, create evergreen digital products. This could be your on-demand web workshops, your ebooks, your mini courses. Okay, some of y'all do live workshops and don't even sell the replay separate from the live workshop as an on-demand workshop. You need to change that. Sell that thing. Okay, number 6, create a branded industry report and insights guide. I gave you the examples of Michelin star restaurants, Consumer Choice Award, and New York Times bestseller. Number 7, proprietary client data with insights. Okay, you got a huge email list, you have a huge community, you have access to a huge amount of data on people. That thing is valuable, and you can lease that out, you can sell it, you can do things with that to make money. Number 8, exclusive vendor and supplier contracts. I didn't say lists. Those can be valuable. Those are getting kind of played out. But if you got some great terms and contracts with these suppliers, that could be worth selling. Okay. Number 9, documented SOP and process libraries. Number 10, proprietary analytics dashboards and tools. All right. So those are the 10 strategies for creating assets and how you leverage each one of them. We're going to start with Dr. LaFera for our question of the day. Which of those 10 strategies is uncommon in your industry and could possibly make you an early adopter to stand out as an industry leader? That's first question. The follow-up question is, which one of them strategies is going to be so easy for you to implement and just get all of the good positive impact from it? You having problems unmuting, Dr. LaFera? Should I ask you to unmute? You taking
I
unusually long.
appreciate that you bought me a little bit of time. Thank you so very
All
much.
right, all right.
Um, Let me look at this question. So, the one that I kind of feel like is uncommon in like the health coaching space, and I guess um for Black women and all that stuff, like me, it's probably gonna be something like the branded industry reports.
I like that. I like that.
And then we had a second part I was trying to hear. And it's like, which of the strategies will be the easiest to implement? Maybe that industry report. Um, yeah, I guess kind of like writing a paper for
Yeah.
like a medical journal or something.
Exactly. I was going to say, don't do it from a regular layperson's perspective. You have a USP, a unique selling proposition, in that you are a triple board certified medical doctor that is versed in research. Pathology, come on, you got to know all kind of research and stay up on it. So yes, I would definitely give a very medical research look at some of the lay people things, explaining it to them, breaking it down, making it to where they understand why things work the way they do or why choose these ingredients and things like that. So yes, ma'am.
So basically, why your body's breaking down and why our bodies break down
Mhm.
specifically the way they do, like that type of stuff, and
Yes, especially
I
for
guess the science behind it.
your demographic, Black women of a certain age, especially for them.
Okay.
This is what the research shows of why this is happening, and this is what the research shows of why the solution I'm giving you will work.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, love it, love it. All right, let's go to Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media. Which strategy is uncommon in your industry, possibly making you an early adopter and industry leader? And which one of them 10 strategies is going to be easiest for you to implement and bring you a high positive impact?
I'm actually going to have to go with what Dr. LaFera just said
Mm-hmm.
because it's the report. It was the guide. I said guide, but yes, the report, but some type of actual guide that is beyond like a blog.
Yes.
Um, because the question, the overarching thing of what you were talking about today, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, ooh, and that's something that we really should be looking at in our businesses if something
Yes.
happened today, not even tomorrow. If
Listen,
something happened today,
today.
what else
Yeah.
could we really do? So
Mm-hmm.
you already know my fingers is doing the walking when you ask the question.
Yes.
And it really is. Yeah, great question as always. I'm gonna have to say the report, the guide, because those are things that can be when we think about AEO in which you were talking about, it makes me think about that too. So all of it is interconnected. So I love it.
Love it. Love it. All right. Dr. Tachi, which strategy is uncommon in your industry, possibly making you an early adopter and industry leader? And which of the strategies will be easiest for you to implement, but bring very high value and positive impact?
So, if we're looking at the industry as a whole when it comes to media and entertainment, most of these are common in well, I shouldn't say common, but they do them in the traditional media industries. However, when it comes to like more independent, the live stream and that, no, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So most of these would be something new for them or something that they just don't do. I would say I'm going to go to make it a third, the Branded Industry Reports and Insights Guide, because I actually have a bloody PhD. So yeah.
Exactly. You know, I was just waiting on you to talk because the same thing for you is the same as Dr. LaFera. You have a PhD. You're used to doing research. You have a high academic credibility that you can lean on that most of the people in these live stream spaces do not have to say this is what you should be doing and why. So yeah, I agree. Were you done? Because I kind of got hype and jumped in.
You were hype. But no, yeah, no, I'm finished. Yes.
Okay, cool. I love this because let me tell you how your goal is to get all of this in place. All of it. Now, can you do all of it at once? No. But if you want your service based business to be valuable beyond you clocking in and doing a service every day, you got to put these things in place. Okay. Leverageable out assets because these are assets that you can leverage to make more money beyond the service that you provide. And some of y'all are so good at what you do. You're so good at what you do that you can spin off the formula for what you do as a DIY product, right? You can spin it off and sell it to as something either private label rights or licensing. So let me tell you the difference. Private label rights mean they can put their name on it, right? Like they created it. The licensing means it's still your branding and they're allowed to use it. Now, a lot of you might want to wait until you are in the end stages of that type of service so that you're not creating a better competitor for yourself. But if you know, like I know, I wouldn't mind creating a better competitor of myself. I just need to price my PLR or my licensing stuff to where I make money when they make money. Okay, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this is gonna be one of those lists that you need to keep tucked in your little business, your best business folder so you can go back to it when you're looking at the health of your business and you're looking at the money that you're bringing in and you recognize that, hey, this service ain't really paying the way it used to. Now you can go through this list and see how you can make money in other ways based on your knowledge that you use to provide the service. Were there any questions or value adds or aha moments? Tomorrow, we're going to end this series and talk about expansion. Okay, making your business more bankable through expansion. And what we talked about today is going to be real key. Like when you have these types of things in place, it makes expansion easier. So, any questions about either operational capacity or future revenue positioning or leverageable assets you can leverage? Damn it. Okay. Any questions, value adds, or what is it? Aha moments. What you got, Dr. LaFera?
So, for me, since I came up with the black women thing, like I did that because I am a black woman and I know what it's like to be like in the system and all that stuff and be ignored. But like when I do my content, I don't specifically call them out, but I really am talking to them.
Yes.
Because the stuff that the stuff that I'm teaching kind of is targeted to them. But uh would it be a good idea to also just do one in general, and to not also just be about black women?
Um, what I'm going to tell you is that the research at the end of last year showed that this year was going to be way more about niching down.
Yeah.
The more niche, the better. People are looking
Hmm.
for specialists. They're not looking for generalists. So the
Yeah.
more you niche, the better it'll be.
Hmm.
Yeah. So last year, I wasn't talking particularly to black women or
Yeah.
BIPOC women, but every illustration, every visible representation was a black woman or a BIPOC woman. So
Yeah.
every stock photo, every graphic, whatever, right? But when I saw where the industries were going with being hyper niched, I was like, oh no, I need to call out my people. And this is why I now call out BIPOC women because us black women and, black and indigenous people of color women, okay, we have special issues associated with entrepreneurship. And so I want to be the niched specialist that helps people to understand, no, I'm talking to you. So yeah, because what I look like traveling to all these countries with all of these indigenous women that I look at all the time, I talk to all the time, I help all the time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them too. So yeah, I think you should call it out, and all of your representation should match, and all of your wordings to match, and all your messaging should match, and you should talk about the difference between them and regular women. Because what we understand is when Black women go to the hospital, we damn sure need to know how to self advocate, because it is still prevalent in medical practice that Black women don't feel pain like other women or white women. So they don't offer us enough pain medicine or pain medicine at all. They expect us to grin and bear it and things like that. We have an entirely different experience that needs to be spoken to. So no, don't go general. Go hyper niched.
Okay.
I feel like I was on the pulpit just then. I feel like I was
You
preaching.
were, but like,
So yeah. But if you think about it, that's what makes us buy these days. We really keep our money close to our chest. Like we're not in a recession anymore or no kind of depression anymore. However, we are, unless it's something we super just want, like, yeah, we'll go spend $300 on a Stanley Cup. We want it. But when you're talking about something that we kind of need, I need to know you really talking to me so I believe that it works. That's where
yeah,
that niching comes in. That's where that specialization comes in.
yeah, yeah. I'm just
Because
thinking,
and again, if you look at your own buying habits, your
yeah,
friends buying habits, your family's buying habits, they no longer go to the regular dentist to get braces. They go specifically to an orthodontist, or
hmm,
specifically to an orthodontist that specializes in what's Invisalign, right? So the more niched, the more people feel like you're the choice. I don't know why we forget about that when we're selling. We don't forget about that when we buying and spending our money. So yeah, I would say niche. Stop being scared that you're leaving money on the table. You're not.
oh, it ain't even just that. I'm just thinking about the corporate stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
people being afraid that I'm only gonna be trying to like do DEI type stuff, which I'm not.
Talking to women is still DEI. So what you talking about?
Yes, but what I talk about in companies help more than just one, the way I talk about it.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
just talk
why.
about. Well, first of all, you have to know who your avatar is.
Hmm.
So if when you're talking about going online and talk, first of all, your corporate avatar is not the same as your
Right,
everyday avatar. And
right.
when you say Black women or not women, you were talking about your everyday avatar.
Hmm.
So that's what I was talking about. So don't
Yeah,
change it to corporate now. You know, when you go to corporate, you're going to have to make it a little more general because that's a different subset
right.
of
Yeah,
avatar. Because they want you to talk to everybody because they don't want to pay for you to talk to narrowed down
right.
special. So that's way different than the everyday entrepreneur that has a niche down avatar,
Yes,
or
Jane.
that needs to have a niche down avatar. So
Thank you
don't get them
for that
confused.
sermon. I know.
Cool beans. Shawana, tell me which one of these on this list that you're more excited about though, because I know you looking at you think about this list like, yeah, I need to implement some of this stuff now. What makes you the most excited?
Well, when I think about that list, it pulled my thoughts back to, look, let me get over to, because you already know I was over here looking and doing some stuff. Um, and I love that you kept talking about the trademark part, the copyright part, because that is key. One of the things that people need to be mindful of is even your freaking name, guys. Your name carries weight. That is why I'm super big on, yes, we have businesses. Yes, we want to do all the legal things for our business. But one of your first orders of business is protecting your name, because when stuff close up, it's like, what does your personal brand carry? What are the assets that need to be protected with your name? Because if you're doing these things, your name, if your business closed down today, what weight does your name carry in the things that you have physically done yourself, that your doors closed, somebody else will still want you? So that's where part of my mind was really, 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 really going, even with that, thinking about your name. So even if my face, y'all know I'm big about being seen and being heard. But even if I had to become faceless, it's still with the weight of my name and what I do behind the scenes that could still make me money today and tomorrow.
Love it. Love it. Um, and by name, just to be clear, you being the creator of, not necessarily everything that you create and try to trademark and all of that stuff has your name in it, because people are less likely to want to buy something with your name in it. Like you, it's
True.
hard for them to, that's why we got a difference between private label rights and licensing. And tomorrow we're going to talk about expansion, and we're going to talk about this more. But it could always be the name of your formula with your trademark symbol on it or your registered symbol on it, and then by whatever your name is, or with whatever your name is. What y'all will often see me do is have my trademark name and then say with Shay Cannon. But that
Yeah,
doesn't mean
yes.
I can't drop that with Shay Cannon and still sell that first part. I'm saying I'm the one using it, right? But guess what? When I license it out, then it could be that name trademark with Shawana Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be my name. I can still sell that. So be careful about putting your name on things as a part of the name of that thing, right? Because then that's yours, and it's harder for you to sell yourself that's for somebody else to use, right? So be careful about doing that. But again, we're gonna talk about more about that tomorrow. But that was great, Shawana. I love that. Dr. Tachi, I love the fact that you talked about that when you're talking about the live stream industry versus the actual industry, like there's a lot of room for you as an expert in both to bring that higher level expertise to stand out in that lower level industry. And I think that you should press and use that for all that it's worth. Y'all know what I like to say. I'm just gonna say, treat it like a $2 hole. Like you should really be doing that at volume. Okay. All right. Over here on YouTube, Shantali said, I a guide on how to use astrology for your social media management and content creation. I love it. I love it. And then she said, thank you for being you, and gave me some hearts. Thank you, Shantali. Thank you. Yeah, this is some good stuff. Y'all know I'm trying to empower you and equip you. Okay. I don't just want to give you good words. I want to give you good stuff that you can use to get good money. All right. Cool beans. All right, let's go to our what's happening in our free business mastermind group this week. Today, I'm throwing in a impromptu work session directly after the morning show. So check the Slack channel. This is for the paid membership only. Tomorrow, today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. Tomorrow is movie club night at 7 p.m. I need to add them details to the group today, but I've already told you, you're going to watch the movie The Billionaire. It's on Netflix. You need to watch it before 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Give yourself time. This is a 2-hour movie. You're going to need to give yourself more than 2 hours because you're taking notes. You're going to be stopping and pausing. You're going to need more than 2 hours to watch, okay? And then at 7 p.m., we're going to get together and discuss the business notes. It's going to be great. This is a good one. I watched the recap and I knew it was some good stuff, okay? So another great episode, right? This has been the Her First Six Figures Morning Show, which is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and brown, y'all hear my niche, Black and brown, female, online, service-based entrepreneurs. Y'all see that niche? Okay. To generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. Find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, plus the links to how to join our free business mastermind group and how to get the show notes from today and past recent episodes in the description below. All right, if you haven't already, I'm going to need you to give me a thumbs up and like this episode because we're always giving you value. We gave you particularly good value today. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a thing. And this is just one of what's going to be a 4-part series. So check out the other videos. And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3,